welcome back. It is day 27 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge, and today we are canning chili. This is one of those fantastic things to have on hand in your pantry for a super duper quick meal. Just heat it up and go. I love having these easy, convenient things in the pantry because life gets busy and it's a lot less tempting to go spend money on eating out or things like that when you know that you can just go to your pantry and grab them off the shelf and heat them up really fast. So if you were with us yesterday, we canned ground beef, and so I had a whole ton of ground beef that I got from the store on sale, and I saved a bunch of it for chili today. So this is already browned, already ready to go. If you didn't have beef already ready to go, then you would go ahead and brown your beef and drain it of its grease really well, because when you're canning, grease can kind of hinder the seal. So you want to drain it as best you can, and then we're going to clean up the tops with vinegar and make sure they seal really well in our pressure canner. Now, the recipe that I have, this is my mom's chili recipe, but it calls for 2 pounds of ground beef. This is actually 4 pounds, so I'm going to double the recipe, but I will put it in its original form down below in the description so that you can have the original recipe, and you can make this fresh or you can make it to can. I'm going to save dishes and I'm going to mix it right in my roaster. So first, I have 6 cups of water, 16 ounces of tomato sauce. Now this is some of our home canned tomato sauce, but you can absolutely use store-bought tomato sauce. And that's actually the last of our home canned tomato sauce from last year. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of cumin. Now I will warn you, this chili has a little bit of a kick, so if you don't like things super spicy, you can adjust the spices just to fit your liking. 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 cup of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, now we're going to mix that up really, really well. There's no cooking necessary to lock in the flavor except for the initial browning of the ground beef, and the only reason we do that is because we want to drain the grease. But this is going to pressure can for 90 minutes, so essentially it's going to be cooking and the ingredients are going to be melding together as we go. So you don't have to have that simmer time that you normally would simmer chili. Just mix it and it's ready to go. Okay, now all you need is some clean, sterile canning jars, and we're going to just pour this chili in, and we want to leave an inch of headspace. Headspace is the distance between the top of the jar and the material in the jar. I have this little nifty headspace measurer, but if you do not, it's not necessary. You can just use a ruler. And a funnel, by the way, is going to be your best friend in some recipes like this because they are super messy. If you don't have a funnel, you can do it, but it's just a lot messier. And we're just going to fill it in. Now, I want to just smush it down in there and check for bubbles. And that's about an inch, so let's move on to the next one. All right, now that we have thoroughly made a mess everywhere, we're gonna take some vinegar and we're gonna clean off these jars. Now, we wanna pay special attention to the very tops where they're gonna be sealed at, because we don't want any fat, we don't want anything to come in the way of that seal. So yeah, clean off the jar on the side and everything, but really, really pay special attention to the lip of that jar. Now, when we go to seal these jars, you want a fresh new canning lid and a clean ring, and you're gonna put the lid on and you're gonna twist it finger tight and then just a quarter turn more. Now, I already have water in my canner, and I put a little bit of vinegar too because that keeps the jars from becoming calcified. We have really hard water here. So I also put a little vinegar in there. You're just gonna set these down in. Make sure that you have a plate or your trivet on the bottom of the canner. All of your pressure canners will come with those. Now, unlike water bath canning, you don't want to submerge the jars. 3 inches of water about is what's right for my All-American pressure canner, but you want to check the instructions for your pressure canner. Now, the first thing we always do before we seal the pressure canner lid is to lift it up and to make sure you can see all the way through this vent hole right here. And if you can, that's good. That means it will vent and it will steam. Some pressure canners have rubber gaskets, but the All-American pressure canner has a metal to metal seal. So every time we just rub the rim with olive oil, and that helps the seal and it helps lubricate it. Now with my canner here, there's a little mark here and a little arrow that shows you how to seal it, but again, that's different for everyone. I'm gonna match those up and twist so it settles down in. And then I'm gonna seal it a little at a time, opposite screws first, not wrenching down right away because I want it to be nice and even. And then once they're all sealed on, now I'm gonna tighten them. And this is ready to go on the stove. So let's talk a little bit about the pressure canning process if you're new to pressure canning. These were quart jars, and this recipe is going to can for 90 minutes of pressure canning time. So how that works is we're gonna take the pressure canner over to the stove and we're going to turn it on high to let it boil. Once this starts steaming here out of this little vent, I'm gonna let that steam for 15 minutes. At that time, I'm gonna take my weight. Now, this canner has a weight that you stick on it. Other canners function differently. Find out how yours functions. I'm gonna stick my weight on it, 10 pounds. That is the right pressure for our altitude. If you're higher than 1,000 feet sea level, then you need to check. There's tons of charts online that show you what pressure you can at for your altitude. Ours is 10. And so once that vents for 15 minutes, I'm gonna put the 10-pound pressure on there. And then this, after a little bit, will start shaking. Once this starts shaking, that lets me know it's up to pressure, and I can start the timer for 90 minutes. That's when your processing time starts. Then I want to try to regulate this to where it's only shaking once every 15 seconds or so like 4 times a minute. And that will, I have a gauge, and that kind of helps me cheat a little bit to keep it right around 10 pounds. If it's just constantly shaking, that means the pressure is a little higher than 10 pounds. So you're gonna keep it around 10 pounds or around whatever you set it at. You're gonna listen for that weight to jiggle once every 15 seconds. And the way you regulate that is by turning the temperature either down or up, depending on if you want it to be more jiggly or less jiggly. Once this is processed for the full 90 minutes, then you're gonna turn the stove off and let it just sit. And it's gonna come all the way down to 0 pressure. You want it to be 0 pressure before you touch this weight and take it off. Once it reaches 0 pressure, you can take the weight off and you can take the lid off. Now, always, always, always open the lid away from you because there's steam still in here. And once you open the lid, you're going to set a timer for about 15 minutes. That's gonna let the jars kind of come to a good temperature and kind of acclimate to the room temperature. That's before you pull them out, because if you pull them out right away, it's kind of shocking to them, and sometimes that can cause siphoning. And siphoning is where a lot of the material from inside can like eke out of the jar. And you don't want that to happen. That can affect your seal. That's bad news. All right, so we are gonna take this canner over to the stove and get started, and we will see you back here when the chili is ready to go. Okay, so we have let these process for 90 minutes. We've opened them and let them cool down a bit. And now we are going to pull out our chili. And I've already been hearing the lids pop. Such a beautiful sound. And there it is, 4 quarts of chili ready to go. Now I will leave these on the counter overnight. As you can see, it's night. It's actually midnight. We didn't quite get this one done in time. Well, it was done. It was canned, but we pulled them out, 12:06. So I'm gonna leave these on the counter, and in the morning when we get up, we'll test their seals and just make extra sure they're sealed before we put them in the pantry. And if they didn't seal, you can put them in the fridge and then we can eat them this week. But already I can tell they're sealing, so we'll just double check in the morning. And other than that, it looks like we're good to go. So only 4 days left in the Every Bit Counts challenge. It's been a wonderful month, but I am ready to have a break. And I know that if you're canning along, that you're ready too, but it has been amazing. And I cannot wait to get out absolutely everything that we've canned and worked on all month in a few days and show you everything that even just teeny tiny steps help put together. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you missed any of our videos, be sure to check out our Every Bit Counts Challenge playlist. We are so thankful for you. Have a wonderful evening.